Hey guys, what's going on? Tyson the Trainer here with Serial Killer Nutrition. Today I want to talk to you guys about, we're going to be covering sports talk, right? So I'm a sports nutritionist, I'm going to be studying my masters, and I thought I'd share some information that I'm learning along the way that I delve into deep with some clients who are more sports orientated, and it's just a longer form platform on YouTube obviously, so hence why I want to make the YouTube video, right? Now, today's going to be a very basic one. I just want to start with the overall fundamentals, okay? So whether you are doing a sport, whether you're just training with weights, or whether you're just looking to get healthier overall, we're going to talk about the hierarchy of importance when it comes to everything, right? Because there is always a hierarchy, and whether you're, like I said, whether you're an athlete or whether you're someone just starting out, the basics and the fundamentals are still the most important thing. Okay, so we're going to kind of cover that, and it gives you a bit of an idea about what you need to focus on and how we kind of progress up the stages, okay? So first thing we have to worry about, no matter what, is total calorie intake, okay? Now, total calorie intake is going to be different for every single person, you know, depending on your activity, depending on your sex, depending on your weight, depending on so many factors that could be affecting this. You need to know what your daily calorie intake is going to be and what you are doing with that, okay? If you're eating the same amount that you're expending, you're going to maintain your weight. If you're eating less than you're expending, you're going to lose weight. If you're eating more than you're expending, you're going to gain weight, okay? It's quite simple. There's three different things: weight gain, weight neutral, weight loss. And so with those things, total calories is going to drive that, okay? Doesn't matter, you know, we've talked, there's going to be protein, carbohydrates, and fats, which are macronutrients, but total calories, despite what your macronutrient composition is going to be, is going to drive that factor, okay? So whether it be eating less, if you're eating less and it's just shitty food, you're still going to lose weight. You've seen a junkie, they've lost weight, they've been in a calorie deficit because they're not eating, or they're eating so small, despite it being not nutritionally dense, they're just eating shit food and expending a lot of energy. Same thing, someone who's gaining weight isn't because they're not eating enough protein or they're eating too many carbohydrates, it's simply calorie intake overall, you know? Diabetes and insulin resistance and obesity is not because of carbohydrates itself, it's because of the amount of calories you're actually eating. And then finally, if someone who you see, you know, they're in the office, they're always snacking on junk foods and stuff like that, these are the people with the fast metabolisms who never seem to gain weight, my partner. These people are just always somehow able to sit in weight balance, you know, without having to track, without having to weigh things, without being too obsessed about it. They, in a way, intuitively eat to maintain their weight. Their hunger cues are quite in sync. They don't have an appetite for eating whatever they want, whenever they want. Usually, they will make decisions throughout the day, eat less frequently, some days higher, some days lower, and it equals out throughout the week, okay? So total calorie balance always comes first, okay? After total calorie balance, then comes to your macronutrient composition, right? Now, macronutrient composition, we put a lot of emphasis on this, and for the sports side of things, it is more important. All right. So if you are someone who's just general population, macronutrient ratios aren't going to be that important. What you want to focus on most is your protein intake first and foremost, making sure you're eating about 2 grams per kilogram of body weight if you're a normal person. If you are someone who's an athlete, you're weightlifting, and you may be doing some type of sport on top, and possibly even doing like a longer distance side of things, then you probably want to jump between 2 to 2.5 grams per kilogram of body weight for protein, all right? So, you know, if you're a 90 kilo male, eating between 180 grams all the way up to that 200 gram mark is going to be a pretty sweet spot for you, because you're just going to be contracting muscle more, breaking down muscle more frequently. We're going to want to have a bigger protein turnover. So that's going to be quite an important thing in regards to protein, all right? So calories, then comes protein. Secondly is our fat intake. Now, fat intake, again, is going to be person dependent. However, we all have a minimum fat intake threshold that we should be having, and the reason for this is for nutrient transport, hormone function, and just making food taste good too, right? So the fat intake we're going to be looking at having on a daily basis for normal people is going to be around that 0.6 grams per kilogram mark. That's the minimum fat intake, okay? Again, in this scenario, if you're a 90 kilo person, it's going to be about 50-ish grams, 55 grams off the top of my head. Now, if you're someone who's going to be doing more longer endurance stuff, you can train yourself to be more fat adapted and eating more fat throughout that. So increasing those numbers, but ideally sitting between this 0.6 range and the 1 to 1.2 grams per kilogram, okay? So what we would want to look at here is, you know, between fats and carbohydrate ratios. Again, not for the gen pop. If you're a general population person and you've hit your protein and your minimum fat target, your ratios of carbohydrates to fats don't matter. You can use the rest of your calories as you want, right? But if you're someone who's more sporty, depending on your sport, is going to be, are we going to be more fat focused or are we going to be more carbohydrate focused? For most of you watching, we're going to be pushing more towards the carbohydrate side of things, because carbohydrates are going to be your fuel source. They're going to help you push harder, they're going to increase your performance overall, and they're going to help with your intensity. Right? So usually what I would do for some athletes is get them between 0.6 to 1 gram per kilogram based on what their activity is, and then use the rest of their carbohydrates, the rest of their calories for carbohydrates, for what we want best. Okay? So we've talked about calories, we've talked about protein, carbs, and fats, all those ratios, right? That's going to be your second most important thing. Your third most important thing, after we've gone over macros and calories, is going to be micronutrient intake, okay? Making sure you're hitting your daily servings of vegetables and fruit, making sure you're hitting your daily servings of dairy, making sure you're getting your whole grains in. All these things that are health promoting habits, they're going to cover your whole wheel to hit all your vitamins and minerals, you know? Vitamin A, E, D, K, all your fat soluble vitamins, all your water soluble vitamins, your minerals, all these things we need to be making sure we're hitting on a daily basis. So ensuring that you're eating a diet rich in micronutrients, which what we always should be doing anyways, you know, whether you are an athlete or whether you're a general population person, veggies and fruit and your whole grains and your dairy are key things that you should be having on a daily basis. Okay, so ticking off those micronutrient targets is going to be the third most important thing. Fourth is then we're going to work on timing and nutrient timing, so regarding pre-post workout, spreading out throughout the day, so spreading our protein intake throughout the day, making small adjustments to make sure we're having carbohydrates pre and post workout, making sure we're having longer forms of protein going to sleep. And when I say longer forms of protein, like a slower digesting, like a casein or something like that, that's going to help you stay anabolic overnight, so slow release of protein. They're all going to be your fourth most important thing. And then fifth comes to supplementation. Okay, now supplementation is last on this list because we need to tick all the other boxes to get to the supplementation. And the reason it's last is because it has the most minute effect. Okay, you can make them a very, very large majority of your progress focusing on those four key pillars first. Okay, so calories, macronutrients, micronutrients, meal timing, and then going to your supplements. That's the way we want to go with this. Okay, now again, we're starting with the calorie balance first. Your most important thing is making sure you're eating the calories you need for the day in order to help pursue your goal, okay? So again, if your goal is to be lighter so you can perform faster, be speedier type of things, you have to be in a calorie deficit. If you're happy to maintain your current weight where you are, then you'd be moving on to the next thing, making sure you can eat your current calories to maintain your weight, then go into the macronutrient side of things. But it's important we do it in this step process because people always want to go straight to the supplements, right? They're always like, yep, show me the supplement, what am I going to have first? Well, it's like, hang on, let's back up for a second. Let's focus on the things that are going to get you the best results. You could be taking a supplement like creatine, caffeine, beta-alanine, something that's, you know, being proven to work, but if the rest of your diet is not on point, you're not going to reap the full benefits out of it. So why use a supplement when we can't even get the benefits of what we're trying to do first? All right, so this is what I'm going to be going through with you guys. We're going to be covering each topic. I'm going to be going over calorie balance next, so we can go from there. So this way it gives you guys an idea just about how to put together your diet for your current goals and based on the athlete you are, and then moving on from there. So guys, if you have any questions, comment down below in the comments, or the best place to also follow me would be on Instagram at Tyson the Trainer with 2 R's, because I'm doing daily content there, but I will be posting more on YouTube. So until then, speak to you guys then.